आपको पता है मैं पहले 11 सर ने उसको चेंज करके 11 करके दिखाया।
Very good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Shweta ma'am, good morning.
Ma'am, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Good morning, Professor Rao.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Say good morning.
Good morning.
अदिति ज्वाइन कर स्टार्ट कर ले सर से पूछ के.
If Professor Rao is there, then we can start.
Okay, sir. I'll just.
Ma'am, I have communicated to him. He said we shall start as per schedule because I have just shared the schedule with him. So he said we start.
As per schedule means 11:30 then.
Yes, sir.
We can start at 11:30, wait for some time.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
11:30 स्टार्ट करें तो मैं एक एडमिशन इंक्वायरी.
Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Professor Rao. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you. Very nice to see you. I was all set for 11 o'clock, but then for some reason, I got the.
I don't know, there was some miscommunication. Yes, it was from the beginning itself, we have said 11:30. In my invitation letter, also 11:30 I mentioned.
No, I didn't find that. 11 o'clock. Maybe I think I
Oh.
was more by your phone call.
Anyway, so should we start now?
Yeah, whenever you are ready.
Okay, we are ready.
Go somewhere, but anyway, I mean, up to 12:30, it's fine. I noticed you have put it up to 12:15.
Yeah. So we can begin now.
Thank you, sir.
You probably need some more people. If you told them 11:30. I think you still have another 5 minutes.
Yeah, actual time is 11:30. That has been communicated to everyone.
Then why don't you do that at 11:30?
Then we can wait for 5 more minutes.
Yes, 5 minutes. So
Yeah,
that.
yeah, sure. No problem.
Morning,
How
sir.
have you been, Dr. Dhar? I'm seeing after quite some time. We have not met.
After 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years back, you had visited our campus during AIMS convention.
Yes, yes, yeah, I remember that.
And
Yeah.
we had the privilege of conferring Ravi Vijay Mehta, this.
Yes, yeah, I know it was. I have been using that.
Ravi Vijay Mehta fellowship on you.
Yeah, I've been asking AIMS to do something on institutional building. They have never been able to do that.
We can do it now. I was president of AIMS that time.
Yes, at the time, I know.
Conviction, yeah.
And Anil Rao I pursued, but I think Anil couldn't do. And finally, very recently, he is now Vice Chancellor at
Dehradun.
somewhere, yeah, Dehradun.
I must.
So we had a good get together about a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, yeah.
We started a student chapter.
Right.
No, many of these innovations, so indoor started much earlier.
That's true. In fact, when I was president of ISTD in 2008-9, that time also I tried to bring all the three presidents on single platform. I was president of ISTD, so I had invited Akhil Bushra. He was president of NHRD at that time.
Yeah, yeah, I saw some pictures.
And Mr. A.K. Balian, he was president of NIPM.
Yeah.
So all the three presidents were there at the inauguration. Intention was to bring all the three together because many of us are common. We are having common membership in all the three. But unfortunately, even today, things are happening separately. But in Indore chapter of ISTD and Indore chapter of NHRD are doing everything together. We are doing jointly.
Oh, nice.
This regional convention also we do every year. Then there are many other activities that we do jointly. Because I happen to be a common factor, so it goes together.
Yeah. Actually, in 1988, Indoor Management Association started the HRD network chapter there by Haiti. And a number of them. But after that, I think the collaboration probably went up and down.
Yeah, yeah. Chapter was started in I am Indore.
Yes.
And that time Kuldeep Singh was handling it initially. And when he left, he went to industry. Then I had invited Professor Uday Parikh in 1999.
Okay.
I remember exactly 12th of September 1999.
Yeah.
Then he advised me that Kuldeep Singh has gone to industry now. Why don't you take up this NHRD chapter?
Okay.
On his advice, I took up the chapter and I continued till 2006 when I moved to Ahmedabad as director of NIRMA.
Yeah,
I came back in 2015 after 9 years. It had become almost dormant. And then onwards, I started doing activities together. ISTD Indore chapter and NHRD Indore chapter. So we have been doing these activities together. Today also, this activity is a common activity.
Yes, I saw that in your original brochure, you mentioned that.
So I think it is 11:30. We can start now. Yes, who is master of ceremony?
Yes, sir. A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of the Indian Society of Training and Development Indore chapter, in association with Sri Vaishnava Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, I, Dr. Shweta Keswani, welcome to our today's chief guest, Dr. T.V. Rao, Chairman TVRLS, Dr. Upendra Dhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sri Vaishnava Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore, and former National President ISTD, Dr. Santosh Dhar, Rector and Dean Faculty of Doctoral Studies and Research, Sri Vaishnava Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore, National Council Member and a former Chairperson ISTD, Dr. Mala Srivastava, Chairperson ISTD, Dr. Aditi Veda, Honorary Secretary ISTD, Dr. D.T. Manmani, National Council member, ISTD Indore chapter, and all dignitaries present, distinguished guests, and the participants to this thought-provoking one-day virtual convention on role of human resource function in the world of artificial intelligence. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, the future depends on what you do today. And today, we are here to explore how the world of HR is evolving in the age of algorithms and automation. Today, we gather to explore how human potential aligns and evolves with the emerging intelligence of machines. We begin our session with the auspicious virtual lighting of the lamp, symbolizing the light of knowledge, dispelling the darkness of ignorance. May I request team? Thank you, sir.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा.
Thank you, sir. It's now time to hear from the visionary behind this initiative. I take a pleasure in inviting Dr. Mala Srivastava, Chairperson of ISTD Indore Chapter and Director, Sri Vaishnav School of Management. Let us hear more about the concept and the significance of this convention from Dr. Srivastava. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. I'll welcome all of you. The convention actually is a collaborative effort of ISTD and NHRD. And the title of the convention is Role of Human Resource Functions in the World of Artificial Intelligence. So with all AI still revolutionizing the organization and business, it is important to focus on the relevance of human resource and how AI is going to disrupt this activity. The application of AI technologies in HRM has brought a shift of cultivating, sourcing, and developing the human capital, ranging from smart hiring of the right candidate through software solutions to intelligent performance and emotional intelligence to employees turnover. Technology support better decision-making to improve efficiency. However, such human factors cannot be replaced by any automation. The human feeling will always be essential. Thus, approximately today, HR specialists are expected to navigate the workforce towards AI augmented jobs with an emphasis on training and retraining of the workforce. Another role that has been falling on the shoulders of HR professionals is how to advise on ethical use of artificial intelligence at workplace. HR has responsibility of making the AI function system more transparent, free from prejudice and biases. Building trust and engaging with artificial partners is viewed as the most foundational element that has to be done properly. This convention discusses how strategic human resource management can use AI for wiser process with enabling employees to embrace with new shift. Of particular significance is the shift from learning as a cost center to viewing it as an effective investment with the implementation of sound ethical policies and by placing emphasis on people instead of merely leaning on technology solutions as the primary way forward for the HR business partner role. So I hope you all discover how HR professionals are going to pave the way for a harmonious balance between AI and the workforce for tomorrow?
Thank you so much, ma'am. They say a great leader is one who not only envisions the future, but also empowers others to build it. In today's fast evolving world where human potential meets artificial intelligence, we are honored to be guided by one such visionary. I now have the privilege for inviting Dr. Upinder Dhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, and former National President of ISTD to deliver a welcome address. A pioneer in management, education, and champion of transformation, Dr. Dhar insights will surely light the way as we explore the new horizon of HR in the AI area. Sir, over to you.
Morning to all. Respected Professor T.V. Rao, leading light of HR movement in India. In fact, we are blessed to have you, sir. And we are sure to get enriched in our knowledge and understanding by the end of this inaugural session. Our organizers, ISTD Indore chapter and NHRD Indore chapter, both together have worked on this theme, and I would like to congratulate them. I would like to congratulate the organizers who have chosen an appropriate theme for this year's convention, regional convention we call it. Artificial intelligence, as we know, is entering into almost all domains of life. And HR is not an exception. Therefore, there are certain concerns on one hand, but at the same time, there are great opportunities. It is the right time to discuss on various opportunities, challenges, and how HR is going to take the shape during the times to come. There are opportunities in terms of artificial intelligence, which can automate routine HR tasks, such as data entry, recruitment screening, and benefits administration, freeing up HR professionals to focus on more strategic and creative work. In fact, it has already started. There are organizations where this is being done. Secondly, artificial intelligence can analyze large amounts of HR data, providing insights that can inform decision-making and improve HR practices. Thirdly, that is personalized employee experiences. Artificial intelligence-powered chatbots and virtual assistants can provide personalized support and guidance to employees, improving their overall experience. And fourthly, so far as the opportunities are concerned, that is enhanced recruitment and talent management. Artificial intelligence can help identify top talent, predict employee turnover, and provide personalized development recommendations. But at the same time, there are challenges. It's easy said than done. First one is in terms of job displacement. Artificial intelligence may displace certain HR roles, particularly those that involve routine or repetitive tasks. Further, bias and fairness. Artificial intelligence systems can perpetuate existing biases if they are trained on biased data, which can lead to unfair HR practice. This is a challenge. In any case, technology is the tool, but how we use that tool, that is very important. It can be used properly. It can be even misused. Thirdly, so far as the challenges are concerned, that is in terms of transparency and accountability. Artificial intelligence decision-making processes can be opaque, making it difficult to understand how decisions are made and who is accountable. Fourthly, employee trust and acceptance. Trust has always been an important variable, and HR movement has been stressing on the role of trust. So as a challenge, we can see that employees may be skeptical or resistant to artificial intelligence-powered HR systems, particularly if they feel that AI is replacing human interaction and judgment. So far as the future of HR is concerned, it is going to become a strategic partner. HR professionals will need to become strategic partners, working closely with business leaders to drive organizational success. Secondly, as data scientists, so today, as it is said, that it is the era of data. So we need to handle data properly. We need to manage data properly. Everywhere it is data, data, and data, but then at the same time, that needs to be managed properly. HR professionals will have to develop data analysis skills to work effectively with artificial intelligence-powered HR systems. Thirdly, so far as the future of HR is concerned, as change agents, that is, HR professionals will be required to facilitate organizational change, helping employees adapt to new technologies and ways of working. Therefore, now HR professionals are also expected to be well versed with the latest technology. So we cannot only deal with the situations the way we used to do it. We have to be, as HR professionals, we have to be up to date with technology. Human-centered design, that is another the way that HR is going to take the shape. HR professionals will be required to design HR systems and processes that prioritize human needs and experiences. Finally, the key considerations are, first, upskilling and reskilling. Organizations should invest in upskilling and reskilling HR professionals to work effectively with AI technologies. Secondly, transparency and communication. Organizations should prioritize transparency and communication when implementing AI-powered HR systems. And lastly, bias detection and mitigation. Organizations should implement measures to detect and mitigate bias in AI-powered HR systems. And lastly, human-centered design. That is, organizations should prioritize human-centered design when developing HR system and process. The point that I'm trying to make, though technology has to be there, technological interface is going to increase, but human element cannot be nullified. Human element will always be there. So that is why there is going to be increased interface between human element, HR professionals, and the technology. So on one hand, HR professionals have to be up to date with the technologies, but at the same time, human element and humane element has to remain, has to stay. So with these words, I'm sure that this convention is going to be very useful. Once again, I welcome respected Professor T.V. Rao to our convention as Chief Guest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful explanation of conjunction between the HR in the role of strategic partner and the artificial intelligence. Thank you so much, sir. In every era, there are pioneers, individual and institutions that don't just follow the change but drive it. Our chief guest today represents one such force of transformation in the field of human resource development. We are immensely honored to welcome a torchbearer of HR innovation, a name that resonates with learning, leadership, and legacy. TV Rao Learning System Private Limited. Founded by the legendary Professor T.V. Rao, The organization has been instrumental in shaping the HRD movement in India and beyond. As Dr. Rao himself once said, HRD is about developing people for tomorrow, not just managing them for today. It is a great pride that I now invite distinguished representative from TV Rao Learning System Private Limited to deliver a chief guest address. But before that, let me take this opportunity to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Dr. T.V. Rao. Dr. T.V. Rao is currently chairman at TVRLS, a former professor and a former board and society member at IIMA. He joined as a member of organizational behavior area and educational systems group. Along with the Ravi Mathai and Uday Parekh, Dr. Rao worked on managing change in educational institutions. He chaired the postgraduate program, doctoral program, and public systems group at IIMA. Dr. Rao is a founder president of National HRD Network and has been in the forefront of HRD movement in the India. Dr. Rao worked as a short-term consultant to UNESCO Bangkok, USAID Indonesia, UNIDO Malaysia, and Commonwealth Secretariat London, and as HRD consultant in India to over 100 organizations in public and private sectors. Dr. Rao received many awards, including Ravi Mathai Fellow, AIMS, Asia Pacific HR Professional of the Year 2019, and Lifetime Achievement Awards from Indian Academy of Management. He has authored over 60 books, including Effective People, Managers Who Make a Difference, Leaders in the Making, with co-author with Dr. Arvind Agarwal, and 100 Managers in Action. He works very closely with the Ahmedabad Management Association and currently promoting the Forum for Institution Building at the Ahmedabad Management Association. And he can be reached at tvrao at tvrao.com. Let us now listen to our chief guest address. As embrace technology, we must remember artificial intelligence is not here to replace HR, it's here to empower it. Over to you, respected sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Shweta Keshwani, for your kind words and a pretty elaborate introduction. Sometimes when people start introducing me, I get worried that the introduction may take longer than my talk. So sweet of you to have given a fairly good introduction. I want to start by thanking Dr. Upender Dhar for thinking of me and listening to his inaugural welcome address, which has almost covered most of my thoughts. I understood that thought leaders who think alike will always think of those who think like them to be chief guests and inaugural speakers. So I think Dr. Upender Dhar has said whatever is in my mind in terms of the role of HR profession in the changing world and particularly with AI technologies. I also want to begin by thanking Dr. Mala Srivatsava. Very nice to see you, ma'am. I didn't realize when somebody was, the WhatsApp groups don't have always the you put a face. So I thought it may be one of your students who was contacting me. So very nice to see you. And know that you are directing the School of Management, and very nice to see many luminaries associated with ISTD and maybe some of them of the HRD network. I would like to begin by saying that in the last 50 years, my own concept and my own thinking of HR has phenomenally changed. I would like to say, first of all, I think at this point of time, I start thinking. At one time, we started HRD as a job, as a role. Then we graduated to making HR as a function. From that, we graduated to making it as a profession. And nowadays, we talk of HR as a philosophy, HR as a set of values, HR as a change agent. And I think the most important change that has taken in at least in my mind, and I'm sure that is where Dr. Upender Dhar and a number of you also are, is to look at HR as the job of not HR people, HR professionals, but the job of every human being. In fact, we start saying that when people start calling each other, or some people who made a difference as fathers of HRD and so on, I say that's not the right thing to do. Everyone is his or her own father or mother of HRD. You are your own father, you are your own mother of HRD. That means every human being determines his or her own future, the way you behave, the kind of values you have. So today I'm starting with this by saying, when you say changing role of HR function, HR profession, it limits sometime. In fact, I would like to say changing role of people, or you can call people as a function. In fact, I think Dr. Upendra very much said that there can be no business without people. He hinted at that. So business and people are two sides of the same coin. And when we say business, it is not merely corporate sector. Education is the biggest business today. Health is the biggest business. Of course, the top all of it is politics, is much bigger than any other kind of a business, but I don't want to get into this. But all sectors that are involved in the growth and development, people are, in a way, could call it businesses. So there can be no work or no activity without people. So if you treat HR not merely as a function, HR as the job of every human being, then I would like to say that there is a role that learned thinking and leaders in HR, HR simply is a title which cuts across all boundaries. People across the world, I think they need to operate if they're operating at a global level. So there are global HR thinkers. When I say global HR thinkers, it is not limited to Dave Ulrich. Dave Ulrich is certainly a great thinker, great researcher, or a great person who has contributed quite a lot. But I think it brings in a lot of other people, including the current President of the United States of America, the Prime Minister of India, all, I think, the top level people, the previous presidents, prime ministers, all those who mattered in evolving whatever development of the country, development of the globe, development of the world, and creating situations across the world. So I would call them as global HR people. So there is a role for any global HR person. Certainly, those who have made a mark in HR field and have graduated. For example, we have Arvind Agarwal and I had documented lives of 30 HR leaders in India. These were the people normally born in 40s and 50s, a few of them maybe in 60s, and across, except a couple of them, over 60 years of age, 65 years of age. And when we looked at these HR leaders and we documented about their competencies and so on, one thing very interesting we found, that as you get older or as you become a wiser leader, a better leader, your sphere of influence increases from your company to the country, and from country to the globe. You start talking a lot more philosophy, a lot more about the society, what is happening in the society, and so on. You'll find many of these leaders doing this. So I would say, number one, when you look at the role of HR, if you are a global thinker, in terms of the impact of AI, you have a very important role to play at a global level. So I would start by saying, what are some of the roles, if you are a global thinker in HR, you probably need to play? I think, first of all, you need to anticipate both the good and the bad of the AI. The good part of AI can be seen phenomenally in medical field. And if you have, I think, as Dr. Upendra mentioned, if you have the capability to handle large amounts of data, not only large amounts of data of today, large amounts of data of the past, and also convert this into a mechanized kind of interpretation, create robots and things of that nature. You see, now robotic operations have become quite common. Somebody sitting somewhere in another part of the world who is a specialist can guide a robotic operation, maybe an eye surgery or a brain surgery at other places. Maybe it has not yet come fully to India, it's only a matter of time. So in medical field, I think there are phenomenal usages. If only you maintain the data from the time a child is born till, I think, all constantly whatever is happening to the child and what are the medicines that are given to the child, what are the symptoms that is showing. Every visit to a hospital or a clinic, every tablet you have taken, every injection you have taken, if these are all recorded, I think it is possible to prevent lots and lots of diseases. I think it is possible to totally get this diabetic sugar or any of these kinds of diseases disappear from this planet. It's possible. I mean, there is a phenomenal application of AI kind of a technology in medical field. That is because constantly a lot of research is going on. AI can do wonders in a field like this. But when it comes to, I think, see what is happening, technology applications in technology field itself, you see it is running into job losses. If it is across the country or tariff war, it's getting into a lot of insecurities, a lot of psychological tensions and things of that kind. So what is the role of AI in this? I think it is important for these global thinkers to think about how AI can influence the thinking of top level leaders across the globe so that they can take right decisions, keeping the humanity in mind. This is the most important thing. Global level HR thinkers should be able to put sense into the minds of all those who seem to be impacting the global movement of economy, productivity, health, happiness, education, and things like that, to say what are the negative consequences and how you can use AI technology to take right kind of decisions. So that I think the objective must be clear. I think there should be great degree of peace and stability across the globe. It is not enough to think about your own country. You need to think of other kind of countries. Now I can go on and on. I don't want to talk too much about a global level thinkers, but I think this is important that I mention, since we say HRD is the job of everyone, and HR is not limited to any one particular country or uh, company and so on. But I think many of you in this seminar, in this conference, will be interested in knowing the HR function and how it can use or respond to AI and benefit from it. I think that is the context in which I am sure you would have thought of this particular session of ISTD and HRD and the role of HR function in terms of the changing world, particularly in relation to AI technology. First of all, let me say AI technology, as again Dr. Dhar has mentioned, has phenomenal ability to store data, massive data, and you can retrieve data. But there is an important dimension of AI I have seen. I have recently given my book, HRD Missionary, to be put into a AI format. And most frequently used AI format is that you put the book and then take a PDF or PDF version, and after that create a chatbot and ask anyone you want any question. It will simulate Professor T.V. Rao and answer questions, and not only from the HRD missionary book, it almost like what Professor Rao would have answered. So the machine or the AI has, in fact, I've seen some of the answers which I thought go far beyond what I have talked of in HRD missionary, which means AI has the capability not only to draw up from the data that you have, it gives its own kind of interpretations, perhaps better than yours. We don't know. This is a question mark. But it has the ability to create new interpretations. It has the ability to go beyond. It has the ability to dynamize whatever knowledge is available and so on. Now, this is a beautiful kind of a thing, but this can work both ways. This can misrepresent you. This can also, I think, manipulate you. This can add a whole lot of other kind of things. So there are lots of dangers of machine thinking, which can be creative and which also can be disastrous. But I think we are interested in using the potential of AI. Now, just imagine, just like in the medical field, if you have a way of documenting the data of every individual, from the time the person is born till the time, I think everything that happens in the school, primary school, secondary school, in the college, your grades, your sports, every activity, every day, you have about 24 hours. and I think some significant activity or the other is happening. So 365 days, and let us say an young candidate of 25 years of age with 2 to 3 years of experience after having graduated from one of your B schools is applying for a job. Now you have 23 or 25 years of data multiplied by every year 365, multiplied by every day, even if you have 5 incidents, 2 incidents, 1 incidents. See the amount of data that you have, phenomenal amount of data. Now AI will have the capability to process this data. If you have defined your competencies you are looking for the current job, process the data and then immediately tell you this is the most impacting person. If that AI can do, I mean, that is the potential it has. There is no need today in newspaper in Times of India in Bangalore. I have seen some 200 and odd people have been asked to leave by one of the well-known IT companies. This is not the first time this data has come up. After having gone through 2 to 3 years of training, etc., they did pass the test, and therefore, very understandably, the company asked them to leave. You don't come to that situation because 2, 3 years back, you have very objective way of recruiting even your candidates. So that is possible. If 23 years of data, if you have maintained of an individual, every day 10 incidents, and 25 years multiplied by 365 days into 10 incidents, the AI can simply dig out if your competencies are well defined, and your recruitment will become most appropriate kind of thing. Because when you recruit people rightly, you are recruiting not only for the current job but also for the future, and you will feed that into the technology part of it. And you are also recruiting so that happiness at work increases. You are also recruiting, productivity increases, everything increases. So which means that you need to have phenomenal recruitment kind of process. But friends, you are listening to me, I'm sure you would appreciate that we are nowhere near documenting childhood experiences. Why childhood experiences? We are not even anywhere near documenting the kind of experiences a MBA college at management school offers for every child. In fact, this requires a phenomenal amount of discipline on the part of HR people. HR has not evolved to the level where they can identify competency requirements of a job, not only for the present or also for the future. Most people don't even know the basics of competency mapping. We are still struggling. Whenever my company TVRLS advertises for competency mapping program, you find quite a number of people showing their interest and wanting to be registered there. We are in fact going to the colleges and giving them. But this is a basic science, basic knowledge, which is not available even in MBA schools. So we have not even identified the competency requirements of a job. And competency requirements or skill requirements of a job today are not as simple as you sit and then list it down. And it is not only for today, it has got to be in terms of future. That means HR people have to enhance their own knowledge in terms of competencies required for performing jobs. In addition to this, psychologists should come up with new knowledge of human behavior so that we can document from childhood, during school days, college days, all that an individual goes through. What I think I have in my book called The Effective People, Points of Life, points, or I think Warren Bennis called it very interestingly crucible experiences. But I'm not only talking of crucible experiences, any point that you come across in your life which is a significant kind of a thing. So psychologists have not come up with this basic research. Now, why blame psychologists? How about HR people? We HR people deal with human beings. Do we have a real good understanding of what are the basic human needs? We still bank on Maslow's need hierarchy. We still think, I'm quoting a research that has been done 100 years ago, or we'll talk of Freud, or we talk of Eric Berne and things of that kind. But post-pandemic, I mean, if you have seen people's behavior is totally different. It's not, it may still follow some of the basics like Maslow, but there are a whole lot of things. If you see, one of the significant things that is happening today, people are very conscious about mental health. Everyone is conscious about mental health. They are conscious about physical health. They are conscious about yoga. So is it possible to say that, look, there are new categories of needs It's not only need for affiliation, need for achievement, need for basic needs, Maslow, but there is something else. Need for, I mean, you can call it under need for security, whatever you want to call. So fundamental research about human being and reclassifying, visiting the old list of 30 needs, which I think Gordon Allport, Henry Murray, and all these people have identified, and new methods of bringing change, which I think Kurt Lewin has talked about. I think these are basic and fundamental researches required on the part of HR professionals. But unfortunately, HR professionals nor are the management professionals are fully equipped with this. I still remember 40, 45 years ago, whenever a course on research methods is offered in MBA college, not for HR people, in those days it is for general MBA, it is one least liked kind of things. People didn't want to go, what is the point of doing research methods? I want to do those kind of things on financial management or systems management, manufacturing, etc., which will increase my ability to get a good job in a good company where I can sell soaps and shampoos and things of that kind, rather than to talk of I want to understand human beings and so on. So that is where I think our HR is limited by research, and we have not done any fundamental research. So my suggestion will be that for HR, the new role of HR, AI offers a great opportunity, but if you don't use this, AI could result in job losses. AI could result in a whole lot of things. All this Professor Dhar has summarized in a very short way by saying that it has many dangers. I think it can create a lot of havoc and so on. So for me, the role of HR is to focus on basic and fundamental research to understand human beings, those who are entering the company, those who are reached a middle age, those who are at a senior level and things of that kind, understand leadership styles, understand the meaning of so many of the other kind of things. So this is an important recommendation I want to make. We need to get into the basics of life. You look at performance appraisal. I've only mentioned about I think like performance appraisal, recruitment. But when you go into performance appraisal, years ago, I think almost about 50 years back, there was a beautiful article written by Douglas McGregor on the on the performance appraisal, an uneasy look at performance appraisals. Have we implemented many insights Douglas McGregor has thrown at that point of time? Very simple thing he has said, at the end of the year or at the end of any few months, analyze the performance and identify factors that contributed to it and factors that prevented you from doing a job. Uday Parikh and I promoted this for almost last 30 to 40 years. Give feedback, give coaching. If you look at the implementation part of it, it's nowhere near what we designed. Now, AI offers phenomenal amount of opportunity. If you are AI technology user, I think all that you need to do is use the technology to have regular performance conversations, document the conversations, ask the machine to analyze the conversations. At the end of 6 months, the machine can tell the appraiser that, look, these are the conversations you had. You seem to be repeating yourself. Now, would you like to look into this? Or the appraisee, your appraiser has mentioned to you so many times this particular word. Would you want to care about it? So this is the power of AI technology. I think record everything that you're transacting, every conversation you have, and you can bring sea change in the performance management. In fact, it goes to the idea that we have been promoting, both my colleague Nandini Chawla at TVRLS and I am promoting. In fact, our recent edition of the book Performance Management talks about it. In the past, we made appraiser as the focal point of appraisals. This is not going to happen in future. I think it is not the appraiser who is the focal point. It is the performer who should be the focal point. So that means the performer should take charge of AI. If I am a performer, I should be using AI, not my boss. As long as my boss uses, my HR department uses AI, I will see them as a threat because they are supervising, they are controlling. But if I use AI and I improve my performance, I take ownership, then the whole world is going to be different. I'm a better individual. If I don't like my boss, I'm not going to complain. I will quit the job. I'll look for a good job. AI will provide me all the kind of assistance that is required. That is the power of AI. It will make performance management much more enjoyable. Manage your own performance. The same thing is true in training and development. AI can bring phenomenal amount of changes in terms of training and development because AI is nothing but a learning tool. It's a large scale learning that is promoted. I can go system by system. Assessment centers will change. 360-degree feedback will change, and employee engagement and its power will change. So you will have, I think, the moment you enter a company, if you have a good HR department, it can sense your mood. It will tell you what activities you will do well, what activities you will not do well, which boss to avoid, which boss not to avoid, which meeting to attend, which meeting not to attend, and so on. That is the phenomenal amount of change AI can bring. But unfortunately, our HR professionals are not yet ready to even think of this possibility. They're still struggling to say, I mean, looking at the negative sides of AI and limiting it. I think a lot more research is required, lot more broader thinking is required, and it is a great opportunity the technology is providing for human resource professionals. I think we'll have to shed our past. We have to get into the future. We have to master AI. We should not be afraid of AI. We should guide AI. We should formulate AI. You should be the one to formulate AI. I'll give two examples totally from a unrelated field. At one point of time, we were working with a pharma company. This was about 25 years ago, with a pharma company in Hyderabad doing 360-degree feedback. The top 50 people went through the 360-degree feedback and they said, I want all my thousands of managers to go through 360-degree feedback. Can you computerize it? Said, yes, why not? Ask your computers division to computerize the whole thing that we have done. So the computer division was approached, and the computer division said it will require 6 months of our work to put a tool. There is a young HR professional who said, I will do it in 2 weeks. And she had done it in 2 weeks, put it in operation, and many people have done that. She had no idea. She was not a computer specialist. It was a great indication that HR people have ability to learn technology and can do wonderful things. Second example is we were changing the performance management system in one large public sector undertaking with almost about 2 lakhs of employees. And we designed a system where sitting in Delhi, the chairman of the company can access the KPIs and target achievements of a lathe operator operating in Bokaro or Bilai and things of that nature. I think it is possible to do that. That is it. But then we needed an IT specialist to do it. Then my recommendation was, don't go to an IT company. They will confront you with a performance appraisal system, the IT-enabled appraisal system, which they have evolved, which may not be suiting your requirements. What you will do is, when the IT company presents you, you will ask them to modify it to suit your requirement. They will tinker here and there, but ultimately you are changing your requirements to suit them rather than they change it to. Why don't you ask your own IT company and your HR to work? And they work together, and in a short time they produce a wonderful, program with which I think the chairman of the company sitting in Delhi could see the progress and achievement of KPIs everywhere else. So I think if a HR takes interest in technology, I think, I'm not saying you become a technology person. I think you need to understand this. Work with the technology people, guide them to use technology for human welfare. What is the most important thing that we're talking of in HRD? HRD aims at continuous building of capabilities, continuous building of motivation, commitment, and also continuous building of culture so that people enjoy the work they do, so that they don't have to talk of 70-hour work week or 90-hour work week, but they should say, I think work is enjoyable as long as I work. I don't care how many hours I work. I may work only for a few hours, but I've done a marvelous job, which is the satisfaction I have, and so on. I think it is possible to achieve the glorious objectives of HR. And it is at that point of time HR becomes a philosophy, way of thinking, values, and so on. So, friends, I want to conclude by saying there is a lot to think about the role of HR. We have to shed our old role and start thinking anew. and look at both the positives and negatives of AI, avoid and guide the people who are developing technology to do the right things and not create that AI which creates job losses, unhappiness at work, and fatigue and illnesses due to appraisals and things like that kind. This is a big challenge. I think HRD can do a hell of a lot. I want to thank you once again, Professor Dhar and Malaji and all the team who is responsible for inviting me here. These are just a few thoughts. I hope these are of some use. And I hope some of you can work on this, develop and write nice papers to help the HR fraternity to use AI for productive purposes. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words. I must say, if time is not a constraint, we all would like to hear from you endlessly. Thank you so much, sir, for putting torch on every aspect of this AI and HR. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Now, to express our collective gratitude, I invite Dr. D.D. Manwani, sir, National Council Member, ISTD Indore Chapter, to deliver a vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shweta. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yes, yes. Distinguished Chief Guest Professor T.V. Rao, respected Dr. Upendra Dhar, Madam Dhar, Madam Bala Srivastava. Good afternoon, one and all. First, I would like to thank everyone for being here. My name is D.T. Manwani, and I would like to introduce myself as a student of Dr. Upendra Dhar. While I was doing my MBA program 1989 and then my PhD program in 2004. So Dr. Dhar has been my guide, mentor, philosopher, everything. So whatever today I am, the credit goes to him. Thank you, Dr. Dhar. I hope that your blessings are going to be there in future too. This Shweta told me I am the National Council member of ISTD Indore chapter, and I have been with the ISTD Indore chapter for over 25 years. In addition to that, currently I am a founder and managing director of Quantile Analytics. We are into quantitative fields. We have been talking about the data, we are talking of the analytics, we have been talking of AI. We get opportunity of use all those. Now it's my honor and privilege to give a vote of thanks to all those who helped make this convention happen. We will not be here without the hard work of managing committee. Thank you to our volunteers for working so hard to make today happen. To start with, I would like to thank our chief guest, Professor T.V. Rao, former professor IIM Ahmedabad, and chairman T.V. Rao Learning System Private Limited. It is always a pleasure for me to listen to Professor Rao. In the earlier also had opportunity of listening to him in many national ISTD NC council meetings, AGMs. Today I was listening to him. In today's talk, he talked about a couple of things which I really feel they are great things. He talked about the HR is a philosophy. HR is not a function. It is not a job. It's not a task, but it's a philosophy. He said HR is a strategic partner. In the business, in the management, HR has to play a very important role of being a strategic partner. Today, the world, as you know, that we have been talking about is a VUCA world. And this VUCA world, the HR plays a very important role. And as a matter of fact, the technologies has been coming and going. We have been seeing the past. New technologies have come that has made many people lose the job. The people who are not able to upgrade themselves, they are not cope up with the new technologies, they are thrown out. Same thing is going to happen with AI. Now, HR has to play a role of a change agent. See, we have been talking about the role of HR in AI world, and Professor Rao also said that what AI can play a role in HR. So we have to see that how we can also utilize AI in improving the role of HR. Then I would like to thank Dr. Upendra Dhar, my mentor and guide, Honorable Vice Chancellor Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, former National President ISTD and patron of ISTD Indore chapter. सर के लिए जितना बोला जाए उतना कम है, but still I would like to thank him, sir. I would like to thank Dr. Mala Srivastava, Director Shri Vaishnav School of Management Chairperson, ISTD Indore chapter. We also work together at Prestige. Also had an opportunity of working with her. Thank you, madam. Madam is currently today's program. She is the convener. She has planned, executed the program very well. Thank you very much, madam. Now we will have a sessions after lunch. But I would like to, in advance, I would like to thank Session Chair Dr. Santosh Dhar and Mr. Prabhas Abhya Kumar, Surabhi Devan, speakers of the session, and Mr. C. Suman, Session Chair speakers, Mr. Arun Paul, Ms. Sahana Rao, Mr. Surya Rao. So I'm sure that they are going to enlighten, and a lot of questions, doubts we have got in our mind. All those questions will be sorted out during those two sessions. So finally, I would like to thank once again for giving me an opportunity to express my gratitude and express my certain thoughts about the program. I thank you very much. I'm sure that the afternoon session will be a wonderful session. We will learn a lot, and some thoughts which Dr. Rao and Dr. Upendra Dhar have floated in another session that will get answered in the afternoon session. So we look forward to wonderful sessions in the afternoon. So please do join. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your vote of thanks. As we conclude this impactful sessions at convention, let us now unite for our national anthem, a timeless tribute to the spirit and the soul of our great nation.
जनगण मन अधिनायक भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. I would like to thank everyone for joining, for your valuable time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Aditi ma'am, if there is anything for the participants for the next plenary session, to kindly.
Next session. Just make the announcement for the next session. I thank you, everybody. Please remain logged in here. Okay. Our next session will just start immediately.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm leaving now. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I think we are before time, 5 minutes. I think you have to give 5 minutes.
By the time
Yeah.
we're all here.